Doing detective work means you gotta walk the walk. No, I mean literally. I need to search high and low for evidence.
Since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely made some. So, where should we go today? Huh? What's up? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Let's light it up!
Committed to memory.
Off we go!
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all. Seems like I've missed.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the... No, wait! Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking...
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaeda? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an... That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my...
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him any... Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy... Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean, beyond already... Yeah, maybe a little... Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
Off we go!
Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did.
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, he was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. Thank you! Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Off we go. Adventure time. Off we go. Adventure time. Off we go.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of... Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been the Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least the Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forge. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clan. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievement. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into the...
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to However, would I be correct to assume that this
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek, with the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmith. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaida.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara... Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, also that Kaeda...
What? But that doesn't make sense.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single...
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion. No matter whether... But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. This puzzles me. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade tests. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art. Focused on... Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So...
All the more reason to watch your back! This...
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search.
Thank you. I must say, I am now very curious about this matter, and I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say. Hey there! We'd like to ask you, do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him?
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot—
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If the—
Millions? Of Mora?
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for...
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. Sorry, I got a little off topic. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want...
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been... The Tenryou Commission had very few leads.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail...
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find...
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely...
You flatter me.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely... Oh, actually, there was one Let me tell you about it just...
Sure. During times like...
All right then. Recently, two people, one of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other,
Amanoma!
Right. Yuya is the nephew. Two grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with...
Understood. Though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither...
Sure! Can't hurt! We never...
Thank you, Ryuji.
Sounds good. All...
Ah, if it isn't...
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes. The Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty Shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the Blades.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, as an example, the Amenoma art. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind, from the moment for only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings.
Indeed. Most samurai choose... You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens...
You overestimate me. My actions are... But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some info. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him, but I've done what I can so far.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I want...
Do you have any...
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a... He is extraordinarily talented in...
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find based on the evidence we have gathered so far. Only Yuya seems...
What? No. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with... Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry, you have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met. Let's pay a visit.
Okay. Unrelenting patience and willpower to move mountains. Okay. Unrelenting patience and willpower to move mountains. Okay.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
Unrelenting patience and willpower to
reduced to just standing around. How absurd.
Okay, okay. Unrelenting patience and the willpower to move mountains. Okay, okay. Unrelenting patience and the willpower to move mountains.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
Okay, okay. Unrelenting patience and the willpower to move mountains. Okay, okay. Unrelenting patience and the willpower to move mountains. Okay, okay. Unrelenting patience and the willpower to move mountains.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying.
No, no, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collect. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have any new info. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon strip.
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself. Everything was fine when we first got married.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said,
Whoa!
And that led.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, and I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or the next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire.
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale,
At first, I assumed they must, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so
Maybe he...
I don't know. He just perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debt. Even though I'm still a little mad at him. We're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work.
please don't get upset. There could be. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma.
A little confusing. More like complete...
Let's try a change of scenery and see if. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find any.
Thank you so much. I just want him.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation. Do you have any thought?
Well, Paimon... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Nagato's collectibles. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryo Commission began investigating and uncovered, but it's a far-fetched theory. I can't imagine. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of... The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem... Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker. Name...
Darn! We thought we could get 2 birds with 1 stone.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse.
Those memories. So dark.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
There's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense it felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious, we should remain vigilant and
So it's an underground.
the force is the source of the Tatarigami energy has long since, judging from the concentration.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn off, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigamis. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he...
So what should we do now?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no... You needn't worry. Both of us.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary. Paimon was so sure.
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy's source left. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense. From this point, the trail appears to split. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small...
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Everyone hold hands.
Off we go!
Illusion shattered! There is no escape! Ha!
By the looks of it, a letter, written on a piece of well... According to this letter, a conflict or Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nag...
So,
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. Yes, right now we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then
right. So let's get moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest is all the clues that at first seemed disparate, and I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only...
Wait, you figured it.
I believe so. But it's something... On with the search. We must stay He seems to have...
Why here? Is there anything?
I'm not sure. But on closer Show yourself!
Kaede Harakazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! What's your problem, huh? What could you
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, Whoa! Surely you don't...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years. Or rather, as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya's...
You're sharper than I thought. You've already... Many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I, as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectation. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also in her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but...
Sword?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one. But in all, after the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might of Ishin art!
So Ameno, tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you...
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma. After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide at long last. I'm approaching my journey's destination. Kaede Harakazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Now, give your body...
The wind knows me.
Submit to me!
Useless.
Shine down!
Everyone hold hands.
Submit to me! We shall rewrite history!
Absurd! Illusion shattered!
Submit to me!
Time to go. Clouds high.
Rewrite history!
Shine down!
Let's light it up.
Do not stand
Your bluff's fooling no one. You
lost. I can never lose. Even if you defeat me here, the one he is but a puppet that can be replaced. The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift. And even if I were to lose my physical by any means necessary, and
Your fighting style. It is in. But from your movements, I sense only hatred.
really? You can.
As I've mentioned before, the form. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenome Yuya's body, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition.
are you trying to claim that on his deathbed he passed to me all of in that regard? Why would I?
Because all of that is in the. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cur. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity. Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too great. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition.
What would you know about any of this?
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor, how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect.
Silence, you blabber. I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not so. It is pointless to argue further.
How stubbornly you stick to. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty
What? Surely you're not planning to agree.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross. Once we have dealt with them, we shall.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Amenome Yuya. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense the power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenome Yuya fell Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet now.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but it's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about... Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's...
What
about Amenoma?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
Adventure time! Off we go! Even better than I imagined. It's my lucky day. Illusion shattered.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
My lucky day!
Into the wind! The wind knows me.
To the fairy!
Time to go.
Eye of the fairy! My lucky day!
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. The wind knows me.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long, though he's making every effort to persevere, I do...
Something else on your...
How strange. Rather than trying... Let's keep going.
It's my lucky day!
One with nature. Time to go. Into the wind.
How's this?
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps...
But what would the...
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not... He's still trying... Time to go.
One strike will suffice. That won't work.
One with nature. Wind Strider. It's fine. The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really...
Yes.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere...
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi. Much less. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was that you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would, but regrettably we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away.
Huh? What's that?
There they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup! We can help this...
Don't worry. I'll use my... It's just more of the same.
Let's get down to business.
One more.
Into the wind.
How's this?
One with nature. That hurts. The wind knows me. Time to go. It's fine. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
You win.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought no one knew anything of my story throughout my travels. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony...
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Skill, blade, determination. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of you. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of...
I sensed it, but I couldn't
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. I feel a great sense of regret for you. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever... You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. My life. How could I possibly... I said to him, do not worry.
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing...
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. His frail face, a newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow. That was the...
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind every... He spent the rest of his life in the forge. Not to vent his frustration, he felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long, or all he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly.
So that's the but after that, the blacksmith's intentions...
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because... Yes. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, he seems to have calmed down, though.
When I look back at the past, I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes, but darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Not only did I fail to fulfill his...
You are finally seeing reality.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the...
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too?
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess...
His attitude... What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already... Alas, after that... Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the neck... You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle.
Oh? And...
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate...
Understood. Then let's start by...
I see. He used my body. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Committee.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater...
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Still, even if he... Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art.
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross blades.
It is my honor also.
Into the wind. Time to go. The wind knows me. One with nature. As one with wind and cloud. The wind knows me. Into the wind.
Thank you, for although he appears battered and broken, his sense of savage cruelty has come.
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him.
I must apologize to you for all.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your It is too late.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the... I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but I beseech you, please understand.
Yes, I too trust Mr.
Thank you, successor.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want?
I'm not sure, but...
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I...
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon. Considering their forging, but I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes, badly wounded. And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for...
What? No way! Hasn't it...
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided...
But... He...
Thank you. I will explain my reason. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands. It will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the Blade's...
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions. Only in the final moments, before his
Seems like he really...
the same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling after everything I've seen. Perhaps these...
Oh, Kazuo...
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon.
Wow, you sure...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost... By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my... The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the...
You misunderstand. That was most certainly...
I am aware, but I still desire to
Very well, I can understand. Then let's pretend that... However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance...
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next?
I'll probably take to the seas. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida. Paimon was ready to ask her a million more questions, but didn't want to seem too pushy.